to confirm. And we're going to jump right into the action here.
So we got, of course, the 1-1 match. Game 3, the deal breaker.
Yeah, it's just a big matchup for both these players.
I'm still shocked that Inori didn't have enough force fields to stop Vines. Of course, you need 6 sentries to do the infinite force fields. And
you need 6 sentries for that?
Yes.
I did not know
he
that.
had, I believe he had 4, maybe 3. And that last, with the 1 sentry, he barely got that force field off.
He had 3 sentries. The first sentry he had built up enough energy that it had 2 force fields.
Right, exactly.
So by the time Vines hit, he had 2 force fields ready, and he worked in 2 additional sentries.
Yep.
And from there, I mean, he was against the clock. I mean, Vines was really on crisp timing with the units he was producing.
Indeed. So, you want to introduce our players?
Yes, down in the bottom left, our Korean pro from the team, the SCV Life, we have
TSLInori.
The constipated Street Fighter voice. Thank you for that. And in the upper right-hand corner on our map, GSL Daybreak, from Team OGS, we have
oGsVINES.
Yeah. All right, so Vine's going with the 4-gate, saying, I am going to tie this up. None of this teching crap, none of this War of the Worlds nonsense. We're going to go with this old-school 4-gate style and rock 'em, sock 'em robots here.
Force his way up into his base.
Yes.
Yeah, that was tight.
That was pretty impressive, though. I mean, it had us wonder calling the GG for him right there, seeing all those force fields going up.
He was down in Harvesters. He was not in the base yet. He had an Immortal out. I thought it was over.
Well, you know, it was definitely a sticky situation. The fact that he got in there and was able to take down that Immortal so quickly as well was another reason why he won that engagement. As we all know, Immortals are really, really good against Stalkers, as quoted by our friend Greg Fields. And
all Protoss units are good.
It just goes to show how tight these windows are when you get the tip top.
Yeah. Yeah.
That first sentry that got the second force field off, that literally had like 3 energy, or 53 energy when it needed to throw down the force field. And like I was saying, the gateway, transitioning from gateway into warp gate, like that's not instant. I think that takes 10 seconds. So, like that's a huge deal when you need to throw down some force fields and you're trying to pump out sentries. So we've got a little scouting going on.
Yep, we do see Vines moving up into Inori's base here. He's going to get the timing on that cybernetics core, which is finishing up just about the same time it hit. We do see Warp Gate going down for both players.
And Inori with the Zealot. Looks like Vines opts to skip the Zealot.
Well, the interesting thing is Inori just showed Vines that gas. So we'll see if he really intends to use this gas, or if he's just showing it to Vines to say, yeah, I'm going to have to do this too because we're going to go into this late game scenario and I'm not going to... I mean, did he already see the fact that Vines has taken his 2 gases? Yes, he has. So, yep, he is going to move probes in there as the probe moves out. And if you look at the income right now, just about even for both players. Inori actually with slightly higher income right now. And is that attributed to the worker count? Yes, it is. So is this the 3 Stalker rush we're seeing from Vines here? He's got 1 out in the field, 2 in production. I believe that's the
looks like
build.
He's trying to apply some early pressure here. Of course, Stalkers are very fast. So you'll be able to poke up against the Protoss without having to worry about pretty much anything.
I guess he's looking for some forward pylons here. Or is he just trying to avoid the watchtower?
Well, as far as I understand, the three Stalker rush is used to put a little bit of pressure on the opponent to try to pick off some units in the early game. And also, I mean, whenever you have units out on the map, you're getting better scouting information. You're more aware of what's going on. And I think that is what Vines is trying to do, trying to get a read on his opponent and see what he can see.
And of course, having the advantage in Stalker count early on in PvP is huge because Stalkers can kite Zealots all day.
Oh, wow. We see Vines going right for this probe, picking it off. That's huge. That's huge. Now Nori has no presence on the map. He's moving out to his watchtower. And he is going to be greeted. Oh, well, no. He's going to
Vines
see
gonna
the
have to back up
retreating.
here.
He is going DTs, by the way.
Oh! That's what it
and
is.
we have just the robo halfway done here.
Oh, wow.
Vines.
Oh, wow. So it's all going to
Dark
be
Shrine
about...
won't be done until tomorrow, though.
Yeah,
So we're okay.
Dark Shrine takes forever to build.
But if he, if he makes that observer right away and sends it over to the base, the timing will be close. DTs might warp in just as the observer is across the map.
And he's
Vines
building...
he has been producing Observer first in the past 2 games, so it would not surprise me to see him do that again.
Although with an early expansion, he might want the safety of an immortal.
I think the Observer is almost more safe.
That's true. Yeah.
Yep, and we do see the observer coming through. But Inori is going to get a scout off despite having that probe picked off on the top portion of the map. And he's going right into the base. He's going to see the robotics facility. Chrono boosted. What is he going to do with his DT shrine? He lets it finish. Alright. So we see the Robo Bay going down. And did Inori actually see the Robo Bay?
Inori, by the way, just trapped his probe behind the minerals with 2 gateways.
Yeah. And, oh.
Had to cancel one of them.
Oh. Well, Inori...
They've all been there.
Inori saw the Robo Bay. His Dark Shrine's finishing. Here comes the first warp in. 2 DTs on their way. And the Stalker is going to maybe see the blur there.
Did the Stalker see them? Oh, yes.
Did he actually see the DTs?
Well, he is...
Oh, the observer's with him, so this is bad news.
Oh, and he misses the force field!
This is the force field.
And he's got to pull probes here. This is a fearsome army. This is a lot of damage output coming from our TSL player, Inori. And Vines is chasing with probes now, losing a lot of mining time, but doesn't really matter since Inori doesn't have an expansion up. He's going to chase him back.
It's huge.
The probe count is huge for Vines, too. I mean, he's up 12 probes.
Well, and he's also got his expansion up.
The DTs were shut down. This is bad news.
I mean, Vines sees where Inori is positioning his army because he's got a probe here at the watchtower that Inori just neglected to kill. So he's actually seeing Inori's indecision right now going from one portion to the other of the map, and he's going to be ready to force field this off.
Inori has an Archon. He sacrifices...
Oh, he can break the force fields with the Archon, which is likely what he's going to do here. Yep. And Vines recognizes that and pulls back. And that Archon is going forward. If he gets rid of that Archon, that's going to severely weaken Inori's army. But Inori here, looting a cow station, he's got... Oh. Oh, this is not good for Inori. This is not good for Inori. 2 Immortals pounding away. Oh, and he saves the other Immortal. Yep.
Excellent micro.
Yep.
Vines losing a couple sentries there.
Yep, but he is going to be able to push this back no problem.
That Immortal was saved with 6 HP, by the way.
Yep, and with 3 Immortals right now, to 3 Zealots, 2 DTs, and 1 Stalker. An expansion up, 27 probes to 24 probes. I believe we're going to see our oGsVINES player pull through from here. Inori is throwing up an expansion, but is it too little too late?
I would definitely say it is too little too late, but I've been wrong very recently, so I will not call anything.
Inori's definitely behind here, but it's not unwinnable.
I think the DTs was a very risky build, and also the inability of him to eliminate oGsVINES probe that was sitting at the watchtower. I think that was also a crucial factor in the game. Vines was able to see the fact that Inori was coming up that other ramp and position his army accordingly.
Inori's actually getting charged right now, and I'm not quite sure I see the advantage of doing that right at this point. I guess he has to do something. He's down 30 supply, but...
Well, Vines does have a lot of Immortals, so the charge will help versus them.
I mean, but we look at the food count right now. It's 78 to 41. We see it 1 Colossus, already out, another in production, and
Vines is going to hit a 2 Colossus timing attack, and that will be almost impossible to hold off. 2 Colossus, 2 Immortals, what is Inori going to have? Some Zealots with charge and a Sentry, basically.
Let's see if he decides to make some Archons here with these Dark Templar. And he does. Zealot Archon actually is pretty good against Colossus if you get the good surround. Like I said before, if he gets trapped in between like these destructible debris on the ramps against Colossus, he's done. But if he can get a good flank from multiple positions with Zealot Archon, he it won't be, he'll be in a good position. The question is, will he have enough units?
Maybe Vines must be waiting for Thermal Lance to complete, I would assume.
Well, he's also throwing down an additional 3 gateways. So, I mean, he had a timing window, I feel like, where Inori just didn't have anything.
Yeah.
But he rolled the dice and said, "Hey, I think I'm ahead. I'm going to continue to get ahead, and I don't think you're ever going to be able to catch up with me." And if we look at the food count right now, that's exactly the case. We have 95 food for oGsVINES and 75 food for TSLInori.
Nori throwing out a lot of zealots.
And Vine still hasn't taken his extractors at his expansion yet, so he's going to be going almost only Colossus Zealot, I would say.
He's moving out.
Vines right now with the big supply lead.
I don't know what to say, guys.
About 30 supply.
He's moving out, and he doesn't have any upgrades. We see +1 on the way for Inori, and that might finish before this hits. I mean, he is rushing out his Chrono Boost on his Warp Gates. We see Archons in production. Vines is getting a scout up with this probe, and he's going to move up the ramp. We're going to see an engagement.
Flank here. He's just got them all in a ball. This is not good.
Need something.
Colossus Micro.
Well, here we go.
Oh, he reveals the charge, and he's bashing in. Oh, the Immortals go down.
I don't like the attack on the ramp. Colossus are so strong when they
And
have,
we see the GG.
tight scope like that.
There's the GG.
Nori GG's out.
So we see our OGS player Vines in the Battle of the Koreans, taking down TSLInori and moving forward.